close. NASA finally gives us an up-close look at the monstrous Larsen C ice shelf that broke off from Antarctica in July. Buzz 60 researchers finally getting an up-close view of the mammoth iceberg that sheared off an Antarctica ice shelf earlier this year. Arent having to look far, the 1 trillion-ton chunk of ice hasnt moved much. The massive iceberg the size of Delaware has only moved about 15 miles at its southern edge, while its northern edge remains much closer to the Larsen C ice shelf. It departed in July, as Antarctica nears summer, shedding its months of darkness. Scientists have finally been able to see the iceberg, named A68, in person. Stubbornly thick sea ice has blocked it from potentially traveling farther out to sea. Sea ice, or frozen ocean water, stays in the region year-round. But sometimes during the summer, large areas open up, and it continually drifts clockwise, so may take A68 with it, said Adrian Luckman of Swansea University in the UK and the lead investigator of Project Midas, a British research group that's been tracking the iceberg. From yesterday's ice bridge flight, the edge of Larsen C ice shelf with the western edge of iceberg A68 in the distance. Pic.twitter.com Lanforlanify NASA ice at NASA_ice November 1, 2017. Scientists said in July that the iceberg, or icebergs if it broke up even further, could remain in the region, where the ocean is quite cold, sticking around for years or even decades. Or it could move with ocean currents and winds in a northward direction, where it would erode more quickly. NASA scientists with the agency's Operation Icebridge have been flying over the region the past few weeks. In a blog post this week, NASA science writer Catherine Hansen shared her experience seeing the massive chunk of ice for the first time. "I was aware that I would be seeing an iceberg the size of Delaware, but I wasn't prepared for how that would look from the air. Most icebergs I have seen appear relatively small and blocky, and the entire part of the berg that rises above the ocean surface is visible at once. Not this berg," she said. "A68 is so expansive it appears if it were still part of the ice shelf. But if you look far into the distance, you can see a thin line of water between the iceberg and where the new front of the shelf begins." A small part of the flight today took us down the front of iceberg A68, its towering edge reflecting in the dark Weddell Sea. NASA scientists took this shot of the edge of the iceberg while flying over the area in early November 2017. Photo NASA Nathan Kurtz. NASA's Operation Icebridge is the largest airborne survey of Earth's polar ice ever flown, according to the agency. It yields an unprecedented 3D view of Arctic and Antarctic ice sheets, ice shelves and sea ice. The mission includes flights over Greenland each March, May and over Antarctica each October, November. Read or share this story. http://sussit.ly2aq7